Welcome to Freedom Affairs. I'm the host, Tim Krenz. My guest today is Don Hansen. Don is a retired deputy sheriff, local thespian, orator, performer, and writer. He currently serves as the director of the special project here at the Northern Lake Center for the Arts in Amery, Wisconsin. We will be talking today about freedom of expression through the arts, its impact on creating a community of opportunity, connectedness, and the resources of the arts. Welcome, Don.
Thank you, Tim. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you today, and welcome to the Northern Lakes.
Thank you, thank you. Glad to be here. Don, give us a real brief background of your career as a law enforcement officer, and particularly your entertaining anecdote about using poetry in your job. Do you see that a normal profession or trade that arts activism and awareness can have an impact?
Yes, well, I am a police officer by training. I've always been a poet at heart. Being a police officer, you get involved in a lot of situations that are not really conducive to community, let's say. I have, throughout the years, I've always practiced poetry, whether it's been at home in the shower, in front of a mirror, or in empty halls or churches.
That's how you kind of got involved here, wasn't it?
Well, one night, many years ago, before I retired as a law enforcement officer, I had the occasion to visit here. Late one night, I don't remember if it was a result of an open door or a busted window, but I wondered about this place. It wasn't long before I started stopping by here to practice my orations. Then it came to me that what I needed was an audience.
Mm-hmm. And this leads into your interesting little anecdote.
I used to stop by and find the place open, but the lights on, but nobody home. So I'd set my recorder at one end of the auditorium here and stand at the other end and record my orations for volume levels and clarity of diction and that type of thing. And I found this to be the absolute perfect place to practice. But I knew I needed an audience. So I decided that I would read poetry to the prisoners. Talk about your captive audience, Tim.
Right.
Usually after lockup, I'd go into a cell block when all was quiet, and after all the clanging went down and the lights were shut down. I'd sneak into a cell block and I'd give them Face on the Barroom Floor, or The Highwayman, or some other story. They didn't know what to make of it at first. Some of them liked it.
Kind of a little story at night.
Well, bedtime story, that's what I call it. Yeah.
That's excellent, that's excellent. As a volunteer in your retired years here at the Northern Lake Center, tell us about the community outreach programs that you do. How do you prepare for performances, and how you go out and do special things in the community, where you go, how you present yourself, and the materials you do, and make it an authentic experience for your audience.
My job here is outreach. That's what Special Projects is all about. Bringing what we do to the community, not just allowing the community to come to us, but to get out in and be a part of the community as well. I go to various nursing homes. There are civic and social organizations that we go to and bring them some literature, do some poems or stories. Some of the musicians will go around with me and do concerts at various locations. But the idea is to bring the arts to the people.
And you actually dress up and kind of make it kind of an end-roll persona that you're performing.
Yes, I am actually many of the authors that I'm portraying. We did a school program. We hope to be doing school programs in the future where we go in and as various authors. I've done Hawthorne, I've done Mark Twain, many authors. And at first, the young people don't either know quite what to make of it. Here's this fellow pretending to be somebody else. But it doesn't take long to get into where they're talking to the character himself. And we talk about, we read the character's writings and talk about the literature. And
about their lives and everything?
About their lives, the kind of people they were, the times that they lived in, what they wrote
Which
about.
is kind of tied into the Mark Twain theme that you did here at the Art Center this summer, where you did a campaign that failed. That was
Mark Twain's explanation of what he failed to do in the Civil War.
right, or tried and failed.
Failed to do, yeah.
Yeah. In your personal mission of taking the arts into the community, how do you regard the impact that you have in your audience with your work?
For instance, when I go to nursing homes, a lot of my readings have to do with life and times back when, back on the farm, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. A lot of stuff that the residents recognize. It was a part of their life. It doesn't take long either for them to start talking about what it was, what their life was like, what their family was like, what their situation was. It gives them an opportunity to express themselves. And the same is true with young. One of my favorite classes is the first grade class. Mm-hmm. Their attention span isn't very long, but their enthusiasm is unlimited. They love to play with words, the rhyme. And it just to generally show them that words can be fun. And I am affectionately known as the word wizard.
The word wizard,
in the first grade class.
Could you recite something for us?
Oh, certainly. Let's see. Did you ever have to sleep at the foot of the bed when the weather was whizzing cold and the wind was whistling round the house and the moon was yeller as gold? And you give your good warm feathers up to Aunt Lucy and Uncle Red? Too many kinfolk on a bad raw night, and you was sent to the foot of the bed. For some darn reason, the coldest night of the season, and you was sleeping at the foot of the bed. Now I could always wait till the old folks ate and eat the leavings with grace. Teacher could keep me after school, and I'd still have a smile on my face. I could wear the big boy's worn-out clothes or let Sister use my sled. But it always did get me nanny goat to have to sleep at the foot of the bed. There's not a location, top side of creation, that I hates like the foot of the bed. 'Twas good enough when the kinfolk come. The kids brought brand new games. You could see how fat all the old folks was and learn all the new babies' names. Had chicken and biscuits and custard pie, and always got Sunday fed. But you know darn well when the sun go down, you was headed for the foot of the bed. You couldn't get by it, there was no need to try it. You was sleeping at the foot of the bed. Some folks say they don't know what it is to have kinfolk all over the place. To wrestle for covers on a cold winter night with a big foot setting in your face, or cold toenails a-scratching your back, and a footboard a-scrubbing your head. I tell the world wide, you ain't missed a thing never sleeping at the foot of the bed. You, I can't remember the rest of it right offhand.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Thank you. That's real nice for our audience will love it. Don, I've personally seen you perform in many theater productions here at the center, and I know you also do leading roles for community club theater elsewhere. What are some of the unique features at the center that specifically allow you to reach out and grab the audience by the collar, shake them up, and make them an active audience in performance?
We're very well equipped here just for that purpose of audience participation. This arena stage that we're on, is theater in the round.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yes. Generally, people are used to the theater being a stage up front. You have the actors in one area and you have the audience in another. And it works quite well. and I enjoy doing that. But when you're in theater in the round, you have people sitting all around you, within reaching distance of you. You become part of that production. As an audience, you are automatically a part of that. The feeling is more intense when the actor is right in front of you. Now, in the round, you always have your back to somebody at one point or another, unlike when you're on a stage. And it gives that sense of intimacy with the troupe and the audience.
Yeah, in fact, you can't look around.
No, that's right. That's right. And in fact, we often in our productions include the audience as part of the production. They may there may be part of the audience that will give cue lines or.
And you're kind of like handing stuff out to people that are sitting around sometimes.
Certainly. We'll use them as part of it. We'll pretend that they are part of the set. Yeah. And it's a very nice effect.
Right, right. What are some of the things that performing really allows you to feel accomplished?
We all need to express ourselves. I find this very true in any walk of life. Our freedom is based on our ability to express ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that seems to be more and more in danger of every time we look.
That's true. The freedom of speech that we are allowed gives us the opportunity to be expressive, whether we're at work or at home or in church or wherever. As a law enforcement officer, I had very strict rules and regulations that I had to follow. Laws are very explicit as to what
conduct
and
job expectations.
Right. I found that through my when I was working as a law enforcement officer, I had the opportunity to do child safety classes at the local schools. Generally summer safety before school let out, younger kids. But that. I found I liked it. I liked the oration. I liked public speaking. And I wanted to be better at it. So that's why I started reading, orating, going around in the schools, etc. The arts, no matter what your station in society, the arts are a way of fulfilling yourself personally, expressing yourself.
And feeling passionate about what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that's one of the reasons why we love life, is why we love living, is that something that really inspires us to keep
precisely
focus and kind of like faith that works for us.
Yeah, precisely.
And I have often thought that true art is ultimately an expression of faith. It may have skepticism, may have doubt, but it's ultimately, in the sense of faith is what I mean, it's ultimately the truth that is seen.
Sometimes when I come home from work, on my way home, I'd stop by and just listen to the people practicing music here, old and young.
Yes.
It was a sense of serenity that I really, really enjoyed. Sometimes I would practice my orations, other times I would just sit and watch and listen to what's going on around me here. And it had a very quieting effect on me.
Right. And there is the truth is kind of like, it's like, what is art? It's an argument that nobody gets. And it really, I think it really does come down to personal opinion, personal taste. And it also is like the personal perspective of what we firmly believe at our root soul is between whatever is right and wrong, whatever is good and godly, and whatever is whatever is expression an expression has an ultimate responsibility to be honest.
In one play, I may be a saint. In another, I may be a sinner. And I try to do them both with as though they were fact.
Art lets us explore the possibility.
That's right. Exactly.
Yes. without talking too much about partisanship, you've been a participant in local politics.
I ran for sheriff for Polk County.
Right, and arts, there's a place for art in community civic discussions, not necessarily the partisanship, but in the community, in the development of community union and unity and good safe communities that are prosperous. Can you see any role for freedom of expression around here that could add, specific programs that could add to a community that's more connected to liberty, to prosperity, and to opportunity, to be a safe community to live in, and one that's got real fellowship in it?
I've had the occasion to open council meetings with a bit of literature.
Well, Amery's got has got a poet laureate program.
Amery does have a poet laureate. The director here, Lemoyne McLaughlin, was the first poet laureate of Amery. He set the stage. He set the bar rather high for those that follow.
It's an unusual thing for such a small city to be ranking itself with larger political entities by having a poet laureate invoke the spirit of the age in the state in the poetry there, right?
Exactly. We are fortunate that we have a city council and a mayor who are very pro arts, and even this county. I've been before the county board before their meetings and have done some literature.
Cool.
It kind of sets a tone.
It kind of sets the tone, and
Yeah.
it really is kind of like arts can bring us together and give us at least a common perspective on what we're looking at and what we're feeling, and even though people may not in the audience may not be out there being active on something or being a real participant in anything, the arts kind of gives voice to their concern.
That's right. It's the same as listening.
The expression.
It's the same as listening to music.
And that's why the freedom of expression is so vitally important to the democratic dialogue.
Exactly. People choose the music they wish to listen to, and they listen to it over and over. It means something to them. They go and watch plays and
Watch
movies that they like that are important to them. And all of the arts is the same. It doesn't matter whether you're playing a musical instrument or orating on stage or drawing pictures or painting.
Identifying the concern or the belief that gives meaning to life.
That's right. It's the feeling. It's the feeling of art.
Like I said in a review of a locally filmed and acted movie, The Unbroken Circle, your portrayal of the lead character was simply outstanding at any level of theater and performance. The movie itself was cast from local talent and it used many of the unique local settings like the Amery Fall Festival and parade. Although it was produced by another group, it really was sort of a grassroots art that exemplifies the mission ethos of the Northern Lake Center for the Arts. How did that transition from orator to stage actor to screen actor? Can you tell us a little bit about taking it up a level and how that experience was?
I have always enjoyed theater, and I love being a part of theater. This was the first time I had an opportunity to do a major film. And the feeling was different in that on a theater production, you start at the beginning, you go through the storyline, and you finish. When you're doing a movie, it's different. You may take a little bit of this part, then do a little bit of this part, and then do another little bit of this part. You don't get the sense of continuity that you get with a stage.
So you really have to put yourself in the frame of mind of a character to call it out instant recall.
It is hard to maintain certain attitudes, express certain attitudes when you're taking bits and pieces.
There were other performers in that movie,
Very good
locals that did some outstanding work for just
just being regular, almost average people.
It's amazing how creative people can be.
And it's
Really.
kind of like participating in life is kind of like is what the theme of this show has often been, which is and the Art Center itself is the idea of
The
Wisconsin idea.
the movie done in Amery brought a lot of people together that would have not have otherwise come together.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from each other more than from yourself, actually.
Right, expressing yourself.
The-
You're exposing your inner thoughts to risking ridicule, but also learning confidence to be
That's right.
to be something more than what you think you are.
Yeah.
Realizing potential.
I had a lady, after we made that movie, I had a lady talk to me, and it became clear early on that I played a pastor, as you know,
Right.
in that movie, and it became clear to me when she was talking to me that she thought I was in fact a pastor. And when I informed her that I really was not, she thought it was strange that I could play a pastor so well and not having been a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to her that I played a police officer for 20 years. So
Right, yeah.
a pastor was really not all that difficult.
Right.
But that's the mark of a good actor, being able to project.
And it was an interesting film, I imagine he does other projects. The producer and director does other projects like that. Just goes around and finds some communities that are interested.
It's called Hometown Productions.
Right.
And the director wrote the script, casted the film, shot it. In fact, we shot the whole movie in about a 3 or 4 week period.
Wow. And it was a full length, 2 hours.
Full length movie.
How did that experience make you a better artist and help you train better for outreach work and doing your things here at the center?
Well, it's a stretch. It was a stretch, no doubt about it. It was something beyond what I have ever done before. And that, again, like you said, gave me the confidence that I could do what I set out to do. When I go around to various groups and organizations, when we take a troupe with us to perform somewhere else, we may be doing something that we have not done before. And it is, you're risk-taking, and it's usually a stretch for us, but it gives you the confidence to do what you might otherwise not be able to do.
Yes. Are there any future things that you would like to do as far as performances, roles, outreach? Tell us a little bit about the special projects going on during this holiday season.
We've made arrangements with a local radio station.
A low power FM station.
A low power FM station, WPCA radio here in Amery, community radio. We're doing weekly seasonal programs through the radio station, sponsored by the Northern Lakes here, where we bring our actors and orators and writers. We have a writers guild here. They do some writing for it. We have a theater guild. They do the radio programs, radio theater, of a seasonal nature. We have a series of 4 programs that we're doing this month of December. Christmas type of programs, Hanukkah programs.
And you've got a lot of people involved.
We have several dozen people involved in it, yeah. We've been recording for the radio, and some people are doing live on the radio. It is very cool. It's very cool.
Any future plans on?
We do 2 major theater productions per year. Well, actually, we do more than that. We do 2 major productions per year, spring and fall. We also do Christmas programs here. I think I would like to do another movie.
Yes. We should do it.
Well, you've got the setup, Mr. Krenz. I certainly would be amenable to that.
Sure we could come up with something and see how it goes.
And
but we've actually talked about doing some sort of little vignette type things, and we should really move on it. From your perspective, Don, what would you like to conclude with as your message to people about the freedom of expression through the arts and how it's important to
I would encourage
to individual people.
I would encourage everyone to try something. Stop by your local arts center. Get involved in school productions. A young fellow I know was afraid to be on stage. He wanted to try, but he was afraid to do it.
And this goes for any arts.
Any of the arts, music,
drawing.
Just to do it. Once he started working in the production end of a theater, it didn't take him long to get on stage. And he felt wonderful about it. The same thing as people, these beautiful tapestries we see around here.
Right, locally made.
They're locally, all of them are locally made.
Yeah, I did a couple plays in high school, and it was fun. And I've been actually thinking about if I could get some coaching here from somebody, maybe participating in something at the center, just because I also want to expand my own horizons, and I'm a writer, of course, and I've been involved here at the center now for about 11 years, and there's something that he said about taking on a new challenge like that, and I think you're going to inspire me to actually come out of my shell and take it up that next level.
I hope so, Tim.
Okay. Thank you, Don. That's all we have for today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Krenz.
We look forward to your future work here at the center and in the community, and we'd love to work with you again on another project and come back to see us on Freedom Affairs at some time. You've been a big help in everything we're trying to do with the club, and you are much appreciated and a good friend, and I enjoy having coffee with you almost every day that I can be here.
I always look forward to working with you, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you for being with Freedom Affairs. I'm Tim Krenz. Good day.